up, everybody? Matt Nuzzo out here in beautiful Cape Hatteras. Gonna do a little review today on the Armstrong HA925 versus the Lift HA120. Lots of great feedback on the Lift 120, just really high performance. And what people are finding is with these smaller high aspect wings, you're getting a lot of turning capabilities because you're reducing the span of the wing, but you're still getting the pump and glide from the high aspects. So you're getting kind of the best of both worlds. This one is a 775, the Lift, the Armstrong is a 925, so a little bigger, but 925 is the newest size for Armstrong. It's kind of good to compare them to see kind of where we're at with if we're feeling the same. And I will say, having ridden them both back to back, they're both exceptional wings. They're actually fairly similar in size and range from what I felt riding them. Also was testing with one of our team riders, Jenkins. He rides for Slingshot. It was cool because he could ride these things, never having ridden either one. And he's ridden a bunch of the new Slingshot product that's coming out too, so he's got a good kind of reference, and most importantly, he freaking rips. So both were using the 4.5 boards. One is a prototype, one is the production. So with these two foils, the span and the size on the Lift, on the Armstrong is a little bit bigger. Span is a little shorter on the Lift, but the fuselage total length is a little longer. It's like 68 centimeters from leading edge to trailing edge, and 65.5 with the 60 centimeter fuse on the Armstrong setup. So both James and I were kind of going back and forth, switching them up. We're like, man, these things are so good. He's riding at a much higher level than I am, so it's good to kind of have that reference to see where we're standing on them. First and foremost, you get tons of speed, tons of pumpability. Oh yeah, we're both about 165 pounds, or maybe he's like 155, I'm 165. So you get tons and tons of speed and glide. Actually could get going in a much smaller wave than I expected on both of these wings, particularly the Lift 120. I kind of like avoided a little bit because I just didn't think I could surf it, but I was shocked to see that I could surf this foil, and it worked really well. I found that the Lift has, you know, pros, it just has like tons of glide. Like you just get it going and it just glides like freaking crazy. It is, you know, when you get on the Armstrong, maneuverability, like crazy maneuverability, like just really snappy, tight turns. System-wise, you know, I've gone over this a bunch. Armstrong's got a lot of configuration, almost too much for some people. I like having the shim system because I can really tune the trailing edge wing, and I'm riding the 232 V2 on there. So I've got, basically I was riding this with 2 red shims, so it's at a +1 setting. Lift, really simple setup, no shim adjustment. I did change out the tail, rode the 25 tail I like a lot more. Did try the 32 tail. It gives you a little longer trajectory on your pump, but it does make a lot more drag and makes it a lot stiffer. It adds about 1.5 centimeters to the total length, which maybe might make it stiff, but I just found that the 25 just feels a lot better. So overall, both exceptional. Like I can't pick one as like my favorite. I'm a little more used to the HA925 because I've been riding it more, but riding them back and forth, I'd say that the Armstrong is more maneuverable and turnier, and then the Lift is gonna have maybe a little bit better glide, but a very different pump, where the Armstrong is just like you're tapping the front foot, and the Lift you really want to cycle up and down. So I found once I got into the pump zone with the Armstrong, I was just motoring and not coming off of it unless I screwed up, which I do often. And then the Lift, you really have to stay on top of it and really kind of keep that cyclical up and down pumping motion, a little more typical pumping motion on the Lift. It is a little stickier, so it does kind of get that, the Lift gets a little bit of that spanny, like gets stuck in one direction or another. So you do have to, you know, be cautious of that. But having ridden both of them, I was shocked at how easy these things ride. And I think these wings are a lot more accessible in the future of which way that foils are going, because you get the glide of a HA, but the usability and turning of a surf style wing, that's really what you're finding in these smaller HA wings, and I'm just freaking blown away by it. Real quick, I just want to read James's review. He gave me some notes, which was great, so I'm gonna figure just read it off to you. So Armstrong pros are excellent pumpability and glide while still maintaining that loose feeling when doing turns. Seems like a high performance rippable foil that can still be pumped with ease to connect multiple waves. Cons, sometimes felt unstable in turbulence more than the Lift. When riding behind you, like he was tracking me, so he was like, when I was riding behind you and hitting some of the the foil chop, which actually there's a lot of turbulence underwater under your foil, so a lot of the foil wash. So hitting the foil wash or whitewater section definitely wasn't as stable as the lift, but that was minor. I was still able to ride out of a few whitewater hits. Lift pros, pumpability and stability. This foil requires a different pumping technique than the Armstrong. Armstrong felt more like a quick little pedal pumps, whereas this lift required larger up and down pump movements, but this gave you a little bit more glide with each pump. Much more stable in turbulence than the Armstrong. Cons, didn't turn quite as well as the Armstrong. Wasn't as lively and quick feeling as the Armstrong. Also had some humming noises at higher speeds. Definitely found that the lift did have a little bit of a humming noise. That could be just due to tuning the trailing edge, which, you know, it's pretty easy with some sandpaper. Actually, Levitas put out a good video on YouTube on how to tune your wings, which, you know, this one's humming a little bit. I think you can correct it pretty quickly with sanding the trailing edge of the tail wing and of the front wing. But overall, very impressed. Both are so amazing, and I can't wait to get more sessions on them. They're really, really exceptional wings, and I think that people are going to be going to this smaller high aspect in droves, because this is the future of foiling. If you want more reviews, go to realwatersports.com, or if you have questions, give us a call to shop, 252-987-6000. See you guys on the water.